Welcome to Bloom with Bobbie, where women from all walks of life share their story. And parts of that journey is compared to a particular blooming flower that they have chosen. I'm Bobbie Hopson, and with me today is author, entrepreneur, and speaker Trecie Williams. Welcome, Trecie.
Hi, Minister Bobbie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here with you today, and many blessings to you and Bloom with Bobbie and A.M.E.N for Women Ministries and the great work that you all are doing for our communities and our women. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With our guests, we always ask our guests to identify a particular blooming flower, and I get this information beforehand. So Trecie has identified the sunflower. And for the benefit of those of you that may not be familiar with the sunflower, I just have to have a picture. It looks like this. Hope you can see it. Okay. So Trecie, tell us about the sunflower.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent question. I think there's so many flowers, and it just speaks to God's creativity. I feel like the flower that best represents me is the sunflower, because the sunflower is known for its loyalty, its dedication, its steadiness, and also its growth for the sun. I have served at World Overcomers Church since 2007. This year will be 14 years, and also with Envision That since 2018. And one of the most important aspects of the sunflower, as I said, is that it grows toward the sun. So spiritually, I want to always grow toward and to be more like Jesus Christ, the Son.
Yeah. That's good. And since I know a little bit about you, you chose the right flower, because one thing I can say is that when I leave your presence or when I get a post on social media, I always feel better. So when you said the sunflower, I said she chose correctly.
Thank
so I want
you.
to back up a little bit and talk about Envision That. You are the owner and the founder of Envision That. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, Envision That. I got the idea for it riding to work one morning, February 1st, 2018. I was in my car, and it was this thought that came to me, Envision That. And God isn't big on details. He'll just give you something, a little tweak, and it's up to us to flesh it out, to develop it, to make it grow and flourish. And so it started with doing vision boards. I had done vision boards on my own for several years, but then started doing them for family, friends, and other people found out about them, wanted them, and I've done over, close to probably 200 at this point to date for various, whether it's family members, friends, coworkers, people I know, celebrities, etc. But it's also expanded. I think the whole premise of Envision That is to help and empower people fulfill God's vision and destiny for their lives. And that can be accomplished in many different ways. I've done vision board parties, purpose dates where we ask Jesus questions about a person's life and destiny to hear his heart for them. Also videos, encouraging videos, social media posts, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the heart of Envision, that is to really help people fulfill God's vision and purpose for their lives, because we're in an era, and vision boards are very popular. We make them all the time, but a lot of the world's standard comes from a perspective of you can have whatever you want. Whatever you think of, you can put it down on here and you'll get it. Just meditate, focus on it, et cetera, et cetera. God's way doesn't work exactly like that. It doesn't mean that God does say that he gives us the desires of our heart, but the first part of that is delighting ourselves in him. When we delight ourselves in him, he fashions our desires where it makes it good for him to grant them to us, because not all of our desires outside of God, our desires are not good, and we're usually asking for things amiss, meaning we're asking for things out of our own selfish ambitions, our own, fleshly desires. But God, when we give them to God, when we delight ourselves in him, spend time with him, he gives us his desires. And that way he can fulfill those, and he knows that they're good and what's best for us.
Oh, yes, that is so true. You know, I always say that I stand on someone else's shoulders. I didn't get where I am by myself. So I want you to tell us uh, who impacted your life the most at various stages of your life. Tell us about
Mm.
that.
Oh, wow. That is, we need godly community. Just like you said, we stand on the shoulders of others. We need godly community to fulfill our destinies because we lose momentum when we're alone. And I've been so blessed to have had a godly community of family, friends, loved ones who push me toward my purpose. First of all, my parents, Alton and Trecie Williams, they are the pastor and first lady of World Overcomers Church. But just seeing them, how they have lived and how they have um, worked and how they have set the example for all of us is such a blessing to witness and to be a part of. And I'm so honored to be their daughter. Also, my siblings, Sharonda, Alton Jr., Allison, and her fiance, Andy, and Joy. Each of them are high-level leaders in their own right. And it's such a beautiful thing to see them all fulfilling purpose in their own unique ways. I've seen them all grow up from childhood, and to see them all grown and pursuing God's purpose for their lives means the world. I've got an amazing Womb Seed family, godly community. You included, Minister Bobbie, and you're A.M.E.N for Women Ministries. And to be in a group of believers who love the Lord, who are pursuing Him, pursuing His purpose for their lives. It encourages me to do the same. I've got some amazing mentors and friends. One that comes to mind is my mentor friend, Chris Putman. She was my Oral Roberts University teacher back in college. And we've been friends ever since then. And we talk occasionally, but she is at least twice a year, each year, but she is such a wonderful presence in my life, so much wisdom and guidance from her. I've got a friend, Denisha Wilkins, who is an amazing prayer warrior. I've got a great circle of other friends and mentors. I wish I could call everybody, but and then the mentors and friends or coaches that I've had at least 10 plus mentors and coaches since 2011. Why? Because we lose momentum when we're alone. We need people to help us, to get us unstuck, to give us a different perspective, to elevate us, to grow us, to change us, to shift us. This group that I'm a part of now, Money Mindset Shift. We just did a call last night. I've been in that program for about the last 8 weeks, and I'm heading to the next level. But they are challenging me to be courageous, to step up, to live full out the life that God has called me to live. And so each one of these people have deposited wisdom, guidance in me that I will take with me for the rest of my life. And I'm eternally grateful to them.
That's good. What drives you to do what you do?
Love for God, love for others. As are all Christians, I'm called to God, and devoting myself to Him, and walking with Him, and following Him, and working as unto Him. In the process, I empower others for success. I help people fulfill God's vision and destiny for their lives. So out of that relationship and out of that love for God and others, the work flows. And faith makes it possible. Love makes it easy.
Absolutely. I think that drives me to my next question is, how do you handle your doubts and your fears? We all have them, but I think it's how we handle them, make them behave, I should say, that causes us to take the next step. So tell me a little bit about that.
You're so right. We all deal with doubts and fears, but when we know that God is with us and that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind, and also doing it afraid, just being courageous, taking the step, because normally the fears we create in our mind either don't happen or they're not nearly what we thought they would be. I'll give you an example. I have been resistance training with my brother Alton Jr. since June of last year. I never thought that I would, because I would work out in the gym and things like that. But resistance training is a key component of weight loss, weight management, etc. And I must admit that there was some fear there. I'm like, I don't know what this is going to entail. I don't know how hard I'm going to be pushed and what it will mean, but just going day in and day out. And then my brother encouraging me, giving me words of wisdom, getting on me sometimes about, my food choices, but always coming from a place of, I want the best for you. I want God's best for you in this area. It's one of the best decisions I ever could have made. And so that's just one example. But when we face our fears head on and just go for it, the lives that we are made for, the lives that we want, are usually on the other side of the fear, of the comfort zone, et cetera, et cetera.
That is so true. My next question is, what would you tell your younger self?
What I would tell my younger self, it's going to be a long road. But everything has a purpose. And if you stay the course, it will all make sense in the end, and you'll have some amazing stories to tell.
Yeah, that's good. And my last question is, where do you go from here? See, I know how accomplished you are. As a matter of fact, one of your books that you've written, I use that book when I mentor, oftentimes. So I want to know, where is Trecie headed from where she is now?
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's so encouraging, and so glad that the book is a blessing to you. Thank you. Really, where I'm headed, wherever God wants me. Serving God is the greatest adventure of all.
That's it. Well, Trecie, thank you so much for being with us today. You have no idea how much I enjoyed having you on. As I always said, you're always positive. And at first I used to say, is she for real? You are for real. So thank you so much for being with us and being on Bloom with Bobbie.
Thank you so much, Minister Bobbie, for having me. Truly a pleasure.
Oh,
God bless.
Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. We invite you to tune in again. We upload new content every Saturday. And I ask you to tune in because you never know when someone's story may have the chance to help someone else's story. So be blessed.